Patriots, I'm Dr. Bill Staffley, physician, attorney, and Republican candidate for the U.S. Senate from Florida. I just returned from the healthcare demonstration in Washington, D.C. We lost the vote, but we're going to get that law repealed. One of my most important projects is to restore your healthcare rights by immediately defunding the health bill. And if I'm elected, I'm not going to Washington to fix anything. Nope, I'm going to do my best to dismantle the federal government's interference in our state and return our 10th Amendment rights back to Florida. Then we'll restore Christian values to our schools and public institutions so as to safeguard those recaptured freedoms. Briefly, about me. I'm a naturalized U.S. citizen. I've been here for 35 years and I originally come from the island of Jamaica. It took me 6 years to get here legally, and when I crossed the Detroit Bridge from Canada on the 4th of July 1975 with my medical and specialist degrees in my hand, I didn't come here for a handout. I came to build my very own American dream. Now it's time for me to pay back for all the wonderful things that America has done for me. I'm 66 years young, in great health, and I've got the stamina to stay in this anti-Obama battle to the finish. Win or lose this election, I'm going to fight for freedom in America until my last breath. These are scary times. Incredibly, President Obama appears to be a radical extremist intent on destroying America from within. This is a truly startling conclusion, but you can't ignore the obvious facts. And I'm not going to bore you with a rehash because you already know the details. Friends, we must recapture the House and Senate this fall and win back the presidency in 2012 to turn the country around. And you know, the problem didn't just begin with Obama. Our nation has been sinking upon its foundations for generations. Our noble founding principles of life, liberty, and limited government represent our birthright from our Creator, but we have neglected to protect those precious freedoms. Sadly, we have been asleep. Now we're awake, but it's very late for America. Already, 47% of our citizens get more in handouts from the government than they return, while we work to pay the bill. Democrats contrived this permanent voting welfare majority. But our founders didn't intend America to be a George Soros Euro welfare state. We were supposed to work hard for our opportunity to reach the top of our very own bootstraps. Should we help the less fortunate? Absolutely. But that's a job for individual and private charity. The government must not be allowed to forcibly take money from some citizens and dole it out to others so as to purchase their votes. What can we do? Well, I have a 9-point platform. Please see the details on my website. And also note your handouts, which detail 12 targets that we must focus on in this coming election cycle. But by way of summary, let me tell you that first of all, we must reaffirm our fundamental values of life, liberty, and limited government. We must put a limit to the encroachment by the federal government on our state and individual rights. We need to deny them the huge taxes that feed the beast and reaffirm the 10th Amendment protections for our state. We have to support local business to create new in-state private industry jobs, and we must roll back all abomination programs that seek to enlarge the federal government and implement socialist policies in America. We have to safeguard our individual liberties, restore Bible values, protect life, strengthen the family, root out corruption, and keep America safe by taking the fight to the Islamists. We must guard our own borders and protect ourselves to the full extent of our nuclear capability. We also have to thwart political correctness and name radical Islam for what it is, the biggest threat to Western civilization since the Crusades. And finally, we must defend American sovereignty from encroachment by the UN and thwart all one-world government inroads into our society. Folks, it's time for America to fight back and draw our line in the sand. For me, it's not about getting elected. It is about defeating Obama-nation and bringing states' rights back to Florida. So before I ask you to vote for me, I urge you to defend America with all your strength and heart. If you pick Crist or Rubio as your new senator from Florida, you'll get a career politician who either hugs Obama and panders to Democrat teachers by vetoing merit pay legislation. That would be Crist. Or some baby-faced, pretty boy lobbyist who spends GOP money on personal expenses. That would be Rubio. It's your choice. For my part, I don't need the job. But if you do send me to Washington, D.C., you'll be getting a physician with 40 years of experience to help fix healthcare after we defeat this current bill, and someone who is also an attorney with constitutional law, education, and training to help reclaim the original meaning of our Constitution. Plus, as a naturalized U.S. citizen who's been here for 35 years, I'm going to ensure that everyone does it my way. That is, crosses our border legally. We must put God back in America, restore American values, protect our nation from financial and military destruction, throw the Democrats out this fall, and defeat Barack Obama in 2012. Patriotic citizens are obliged to fight for the Republic at this critical juncture. That is why I'm running for the U.S. Senate from Florida in 2010. Let me do the job for you. Thank you.